Richard Freeman, I'm 1-0 against you in a drag race because at PRI I actually beat you in that Uber race that we had back to from Wes's party to the hotel room. I don't know if you remember that, but I got one up on you.
Yeah, I think I made a wrong turn.
I got one up on you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so I'm probably one of the only people in the world that has a winning record against you and Elite. So let's go ahead and get to business, the racing business. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Drag Illustrated's The Racing Business with me, Jason Dukes. As always, brought to you by Racers Club. You can go get your Racers Club stuff, racers.club. I'm also going to be out at the Pro Superstar Shootout this weekend, so make sure that you show up to the race, obviously, and show up looking good in your Racers Club stuff. This week, you can't talk the racing business without you can't talk the racing business or the Pro Superstar Shootout, or honestly, a lot of stuff happening in drag racing without talking about Richard Freeman, Elite Motorsports, Elite Performance, Elite Cultivation, got all the different things. So let's just get to it. Let's get to the racing business and bring on Richard Freeman. There you go. You done changed your screen again.
No, I didn't. I just cleaned it up, sending emails.
Okay. You cleaned up. You take. It takes 30 seconds to do an intro, and you know you're the busiest man in motorsports, so you got to get some stuff done while we're doing that. So how are you doing today, man?
I'm doing great. You've worn me out trying to get me on this show, so I figured I'd better stop and do it.
Yeah, well, listen, I mean, it's this show is about, actually, me and Blake, we were just talking about it a little bit earlier, that you know, we're pretty much now at a point where in the racing business where you may be starting to get some haters because people are just like, man, well, this guy's just doing everything and just going to take over everything. And it's like, well, then he needs to be on the show. You guys need to be listening to him to figure out what he's doing right. So that, like, I mean, you're not hiding any of it. So it's like, get him on here.
I don't know if I'm doing anything right. And when you said haters, I think I've got plenty of those.
Well, but
which
look,
is okay.
It's okay. And I think it's because you're doing things and changing them up. And I think there's a lot for a lot for all of us to learn from you and see how you're doing. So normally the way the show goes is we start out by just talking about all the things you're currently doing, and then we just take it all the way back to the beginning and see how you got there and all the advice that you have on the way there. So just tell us, I mean, what are all the things that Richard Freeman and Elite is up to right this moment?
Well, I mean, right now we've had to speed up our get ready for the 24 season. The pro shootout race that we're putting on, that Pro is putting on, brought to you by SCAG and JSG, which we're super interested and excited about, because it's kind of just a new thing that's never been done before, to be real honest with you. So, but the 24 season starts in Gainesville in March. So we've had to move all that stuff up. And my guys are, you know, as we talk, are loading stuff up. They're getting ready to leave tomorrow evening for Bradenton, and I couldn't be more happy with our program as we have. We're ready to go to Gainesville right now. We have we've 25 engines in the trailers. Cars are ready. My guys have been here. Cars are scaled, 9 pro stock cars ready to go, and heading out to Bradenton. So that's what we've been doing. We had no off season because of this race we're putting on, and it's been a lot of work, but it's been super fun.
Yeah. Well, one of the things Antron Brown did an episode towards the end of last season, and when I rewatched it, I realized that the first 20 minutes of his segment was literally him just like going like partner by partner and talking about the different things that he has going on this year. And you know, I just realized how important that is, right? Because normally in motorsports we hear people talk about their partners on the top end, and it's like this quick little rattle off sort of thing that just happens. And you know, that was an opportunity for Antron to just talk like partner by partner. You know, you talk about the pro stock team, and you got 9 different 9 different programs, some of them, super unique from the others. Like, if you want to take the time and just, go through each of those programs and sort of how they came about and the
Sure.
elite way with all of them.
Sure. People have heard our story many times, and I never get tired of sharing it. But 2013, at the end of 2013, I believe that's correct. Excuse me. 2012 is when my program really turned towards the real deal, and it was all about people. When you start talking about partners, it's yes, we have partners that put money in. We also have partners that are my employees that are part of my program. And in 2012, I bought Jeg Coughlin's engine program out to shorten it up, move those guys here to Oklahoma, and had Ricky Jones driving and myself. And then, Richie Stevens drove a little bit throughout. But if y'all remember, we had those 2 GXPs that were painted kind of alike but opposite. And we ended that season, 2013, with Ricky Jones winning the World Finals. And during all that, I had made the decision and worked really hard to try to hire and get Erica Enders to be part of our program. And we did so. And the rest is kind of history, right? We started 2014 with Erica behind the wheel, Rick and Ricky Jones, Mark Ingersoll calling the shots. And back then it was a 1 car, and then Drew Skillman come on. So we had 2 teams, right? And we rented some motors here and there. But it was success right from the get-go. And then the I don't know how you say this without being offensive, but it just kept growing, right? It kept growing, and magic. And you've heard me call it that. So we go on there. We start as a 1-2 car team, and then it starts growing, and partners start coming. And I can tell you, when you start talking about partners, I don't have sponsors. I have partners. Not only do we try to help their business grow, but they've become family and friends, and which is great. It goes. We wish each other happy birthdays, and we wish each other Merry Christmas, and all the things, right? And we stay together and we eat together. I can't even. I mean, I'm the luckiest person on the planet to get to live and do what I dreamed of. And I think that goes for every employee that I have. And it's, we enjoy this deal. And sometimes I have to remind them, remember those people that are standing at the back of the trailer, that was us, all of us, me included, right?
Me too.
And so, I walk out in the shop and I look, and there's 6 semis and new Peterbilts and new race cars and very organized. And I'm like, wow, I can remember going and having nothing. I mean, I remember the first enclosed trailer that we got, me and my brother and my dad, and it was a chaparral trailer. It sure didn't have an air conditioner in it. And so, I don't know, it's just sometimes you have to just sit down and think about what's transpired. And so, we've grown to the point where we have Erica this year, starting in 24. We have Erica in the JHG car. We have Aaron Stanfield in the JHG car. We have TJ Coughlin in the Jegs car. We have Jeg Coughlin in the all-new SCAG car, right? We have Jerry Don Tucker in the Outlaw Beer car. And then we have our Mexican family with the Quadras. Fernando Jr., Christian, David, and of course Fernando Sr. And it's amazing. You know, I don't own all those teams. The Quadras own their teams. Joe Janik owns a car that Aaron will be driving, JHG back deal. Again, we have Joe Janik. We have you can't even list them. The Mark Stockseths, all of our partners that are family, and it's just amazing. I mean,
Right.
it really is. And so, you know, in 10 years' time with Erica, we've won 6 world championships. We don't feel like we're done yet. We have some, hopefully, we're working on something that could be groundbreaking. We're still working with NHRA, and we're working with some other stuff, possible doing a fuel team. But we'll only do it if it's the same way we do our pro stock deal, right? And so we're excited about that. Really excited about how our sport is transitioning, and it for me, it's kind of again, I don't know how to say this, but you know, I've been telling people for the last 12 years what's coming, and it's happening right in front of our face. You know, our sport has changed. The landscape has changed. There are, I call them walls, but there's walls coming down. Listen, what's great about what's happening February 9th in Bradenton is that is where, for the first time that I know of in the history of the sport, not only is this race coming off, but there are pro stock teams, top fuel teams, funny car teams, and we have become family. 10 years ago when I started, not only could you not walk to the next pit area in pro stock because of some of the, because of some of the mindset from some of our competitors and whatever, which is, I'll be honest with you, it's absolutely retarded. It's stupid. And so those walls started slowly tearing down. And you definitely didn't go across to the nitro pits. Oh my God, they were untouchable, right? But today, I mean, the Torrances are family friends of mine. I mean, I fly down there every now and then, go to competition, we have lunch, and we're friends. Forget about the racing, we're friends. And that's just one example. Tony Stewart comes out. I didn't know Tony Stewart from Adam. We've become friends. We talk about hunting. We talk about this. And so what happens is everybody starts collaborating. And I think that's why you're seeing this movement. I believe drag racing is the best form of motorsports for partnerships on the planet Earth. That's my belief. I've never been involved in NASCAR or any of that other stuff, but I can tell you from like Tony, I mean, he's married to Leah and all that stuff. But if you really sit down and talk to him, the more he starts talking about drag racing, the more excited he gets. That guy's done it all. IndyCar, dirt track racing, NASCAR.
All of it. Yeah, you don't have to list it out. All of it.
Right. And we are very lucky to have him over here because he brings a lot of eyeballs. And anyway, so
well, so I have a question about like the what is happening now, and you live it every day and probably can speak to it as like Richard Freeman, and me just on the business side of it. Like I watch it every day and I can see some of the stuff, but like, you know, if we were gonna not necessarily like talk stupid to people, but like bring it down to layman's terms and sort of explain the layout, like, you know, can you talk about like the JHE, the SCAG, the Quadras, like, you know, you talk about the partnership and adding value, and you know, people talk about like, oh, B2B and B2C and all those different things, but they're also, you know, I should probably be the person to write a book about this, but there seems to also just be like an elite way, like the elite way of doing things. And can you talk about, you know, just some of that and how, you know,
I can
like
talk about a little bit of it. I don't want to cover all of it because I don't want to give I feel like I have a little bit of hands up with some people, and maybe it does matter, maybe it doesn't. But here's what I can tell you. when we form a bond with someone, they're not just a sponsor. They're not just someone writing a check. We actually go to work for them. And I think if you ask anybody that's partners on our car, what that means is we try to help them grow their business. I can tell you this, that the first, and you can ask Randy Glady with SCAG about this, but the first year that we were partners, right? I won't mention how much money it was or whatever, but I spent every bit of that and then some buying SCAG equipment. I invested my money to make sure that I was using his product so I could talk more plainly about it, so I could know about it, because I'd never had a SCAG product. It wasn't big around here. Mm-hmm. Now everybody, all my friends are buying them and blah, blah, blah. Just 2 weeks ago, I took a whole airplane full of people to Wisconsin in the snow, right? And we spent Sunday, Monday, Tuesday with the group from Metalcraft and SCAG with their dealers. I took Erica, Aaron Stanfield, Jed Coughlin, TJ, and Jerry Don, and we all went and we learned about their product. Now, what I will tell you is SCAG is sponsoring, the SCAG car is Jed Coughlin, but they are also on the rest of my cars. Mm-hmm. And all of my drivers went and they walked and they learned, and that's part of what we do. Jason Johnson, JHG, listen, they were a part of drag racing years ago. I don't know if everybody knows that, but Jason's father, Willis Johnson, has a fantastic story. He was the founder of Copart. If you don't know what that is, you need to go look it up. Willis wrote a book. Jason and his family, they're normal people, right? They, and I think you saw some of this on social media, they grew up in a salvage yard. Yeah. And their story of how they got to where they are is just awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, the JHG garage is what Jason loves to do, which is old cars. Guess what we did? Me and Erica and Woody and Tony and Matt Hagan, we all went to Kissimmee to the Mecum auction with Jason. And it wasn't about racing, but it was about family. That's what Jason enjoys to do. And so we went and we were a part of that. And we sat there and watched the auction and had a good time and watched Jason walk around and get excited about what he was going to buy. But that's what it's about. I can't help Jason Johnson make any more money than what he's already done, but I can support what he loves, and he's supporting what we love. Mark Melling, a lot of people don't know this. The Mellings won a cup championship.
Bill Elliott.
On their own team with Bill Elliott, right? Where they at? Drag racing. Not only that, Mark Mellings built a Copo car. He's going to run, and his son's going to run in super stock and stock. Mark's brother, Matt, has got 4 or 5 top dragsters. So, we're growing our sport from within and from people coming from different race arenas. Yeah. If you really look at our sport for the money, it's cheap. Now, people would say, "God, what's $5 million a year or $2 million a year? That's not cheap." It's cheap when you look at a cup team that costs $25 million. You know what I'm saying? And so I just think that the foundation's changed, and our partnerships mean so much to us. And again, we are friends. Another group, I gotta say this. While we were in Wisconsin, we left and we flew over to Jim Greenheck's place, C-Tech. If you're not buying C-Tech product, there's something wrong. That guy lives, eats, breathes, sleeps drag racing. His facility is second to none. Great people. And there again, we've been competitors at gyms, right? In competition eliminator. They are some of the finest people I've ever met in my life. Him and his wife, and the whole group at CTEC. And I can just go on and on. Gallagher Insurance. I got a big meeting. I won't mention the name. This week in Bradenton, they're making the trip down. If this deal happens, it'll be another huge step for drag racing, another partnership. So we couldn't be more excited. Hey, it's pretty cool when you start running out of room on cars that people want to be affiliated and I mean, look at me. Hell, I talk horrible, but you know what? When I say something, I mean it, and you get who I am. I'm not gonna, I'm not like some of the other people that, they're fake. Yeah. And there's plenty of them out there.
Well, that's what I mean. That honestly, that's what this show's about. Like I think we're on episode 23 or 24 now, and it's about to really get the real business, right? Because you sit and we've turned into the Instagram generation and stuff like that, where it's like, oh, here's the 5 tips on how you can do this in 5 minutes, and it's like none of this gets done in 5 minutes. So
nothing happens in 5 minutes.
Yeah. And nothing happens in 5 minutes. Nothing happens quick. Nothing is, just a press of a button. But so I mean, I appreciate the stories that you're telling and how you're telling them and really focusing on the relationship. If you have more of those, I would love to hear that. The other thing that I would just throw out there as a question is, and again, because some people, they won't know this until they actually show up at an event and see it, or if they follow you guys on Instagram. But there's also there's like mobile displays that you're doing for some of your partners, and how did some of that stuff come about, and do you want to just explain some of that?
Yeah. So I started with the idea for our Quadra partners, and I don't know. I can sit here and talk about those people for days. So they're not part. Their culture is different, and so partnering with them was difficult for me, and I spent the time and the money to go down and see how they lived instead of they're always here seeing how we lived, and so we invested in that, went down there and figured out kind of what they did and their story, another story that needs to be told and shared, and get up on the top of the trailer and scream it about where they come from. Most people don't know. When I was a kid, I used to watch Fernando Sr. run Pro Stock.
Oh, really?
Oh, you didn't know that?
No.
Absolutely. So he quit in 04. Do you know why he quit? You don't?
No.
Let me tell you the story about the Quadras, and I don't think they'd have a problem with that. So Fernando Sr. run Pro Stock, and I think he ended with Frank Iaconio Power. So that's where that connection comes from. But in 2004, I believe, and I don't hold me to dates, but Fernando and them had their business and their farm of raising exotic animals. And again, I could be wrong on a little bit of this, but there's one thing I'm not wrong about, and that's what happened. It was in Indonesia. Mm-hmm. And tsunami happened in Indonesia. It killed every employee he had.
Oh,
wiped his entire business out. So Fernando had to quit racing, of course, right? And go back to taking care of his family. And those boys, some of them, I don't guess even they were born yet, right? And so him and his brothers, and the brothers that I know that I've met it's Fernando Sr., Hector, and I think Frank. Okay. What they did is they sat down and they built a business it's unbelievable. I think around the world they have 13,000 employees now. Wow. So Fernando Sr. Kind of handles all the exotic skin. His brother Hector owns Corral, and his brother Frank owns Quadra. And so all of those are a little bit different. So Quadra is their high-end products, and Corral boots are really aimed at the female deal. You know, they get the bling bling and all that stuff.
Right.
And so they built this business that's just phenomenal. And that business is now based out of Leon, Mexico, which is the shoe capital or boot capital of the world. We went down there and visited that, and I told him, I said, Fernando, we got to, you know, because when they come to be a part of my program, they had a green car, a yellow car, an orange car, shit scattered everywhere. And I said, what are we doing? I mean, first of all, people don't know who Corral, for the majority, they don't know who that is. They don't know who Quadra is. So we streamlined all that. And we made their stuff look, in my opinion, really nice, right? And it's branded with Corral. And I said, what about how do we get this stuff to the racetrack, and how do we show people what it is? And we come up with this idea about the trailer. And I don't know if y'all have seen it, but we brought it out in Dallas, built it brand new, and it's a mobile store. And it'll be in Bradenton this week, and it'll be at all national events this year in NHRA in the Midway, which I think is really cool. And it's like a store. You walk in, you can buy boots, you can look at the products that they make, and man, the response that we had was unbelievable.
Right.
Well, when we brought this out, Randy Glady come by and said, hey, I'm thinking about, I need to do something. And he didn't look at that trailer right then. He said, I'm thinking about doing something with, you know, I need to do something where I can showcase my lawnmowers, blah, 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 and all of our products at the races. And, you know, what he was doing at that point in time is locally, he would get local dealers that was closest to the race, right? And they'd come out and they'd have a pop-up tent, and they'd have this, and not taking anything back. It wasn't real professional, and Randy didn't like that, right? He wanted something different. So I walked him over to this trailer. I said, hey, let's build this exact same thing, but let's make it for lawnmowers. He said, what do you mean? And I said, well, so we'll have this deck, and we can put these lawnmowers on it, and we'll put AstroTurf in there, and blah, blah, blah. And that's exactly what we did. I don't know if you've seen pictures of it.
I've seen, yeah.
But wait till you see it in person. It's absolutely, I mean, it's badass. And so now we got two trailers that are somewhat the same, and they're going to go to all these national events. So these companies are investing, right, in that. And here's what I like about Randy's deal. What he's done is he's going to go to these local dealerships, right? And instead of them having to drag that shit out to the racetrack, it's going to be there, and they're going to get to come and work that, meet new people. The dealers don't have to bring nothing. They just show up. They get to work that trailer. All the products are going to be there at every race. There's going to be an awning for people to hang out. There's going to be, again, what they want to showcase to the world. And these dealers get to come and meet new people and locally that they may not have an opportunity. And so Randy is investing in his dealers. He gets what our sport is great for, and that is building something around it. And it's really fun to watch. So, I mean, Randy's invested a lot of money for his dealers as for a national, ad campaign. That's kind of the way I look at it. And we're all partners. We're all working. I mean, that trailer showed up because our goal is to have it in Bradenton, right? And we built that, Slick at Competition built that trailer in 4 months from scratch. It shows up on Friday night at 9 o'clock. My wrap guys were already here. We had that thing done, and it was on the road at 9:30 Saturday night, going back to Wisconsin to get loaded to go to Bradenton. So all of those things, while they're long days, man, it's fun to see that come to fruition. So both of those trailers will be there. There's just a lot of lot of stuff moving around our sport that, in my opinion, are going to be great.
Yeah, yeah. So let's talk about, like, the Richard Freeman way. You can talk about it either one of two ways, of just like, what's the secret, and or what is it that other people just aren't doing or aren't willing to do, or they're too stubborn to not do, like,
Well,
and
you want me to be honest with you?
please.
Real honest? Personal agendas,
Hmm.
right? I'm about the business side of it. I'm not all about me. So I can tell you, even this race, okay, even this race that we're doing, I have worked endlessly with Michelle Domingala, Woody, Chad Head, and there's a few others, raising money to make sure this race went off. Okay. The money that we raised together, we're sharing with everyone. Make sense?
Hmm.
I will tell you, without calling any names, that there's been very little help. And that goes from Pro Stock, Top Fuel to Funny Car. And it's almost saddening. It really is.
Hmm.
But you can bet your ass they raise money for themselves. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
So we are working. We are trying to change the mindset. That's very difficult to do. And so we're going to see. Hopefully, we do more of this stuff. You asked me about the secret sauce. That's all I'm going to tell you. Most of these people are so ignorant that all they think about is themselves. Where I've been in those shoes, I watched my parents go broke when they were 50 something years old, and people that they thought were their friends run with knives with them running your back. Right? That's the reason I'll say what I think. I don't care. It doesn't matter because they can't eat me. But I don't have, I think about all of my people, all of my partners, all of my drivers, all of my family at all times, period.
Hmm.
The rest
Yeah.
of the people, personal agenda. It's bad. It's funny because I love it because they're, again, the majority of them aren't smart enough to get out of their own way. So, but I will tell you, the landscape's changing because there's a lot of good ones out there, a lot of them. I mentioned one while ago. If you think that Tony Stewart don't know his way around these programs, they better watch out. He'll have it all.
Right, for
So,
sure. Yeah. So tell us more just 2024 stuff. I think we have the racing part of it down, but you also have other businesses. Can you just tell us a little bit about some of the other businesses that you have?
huh. My business is Elite Motorsports. I mean, that's the thing that I love. Uh, we buy, sell trucks, trailers, race cars, race programs. Um, just bought V Gaines program out. We were always hoping that V would come back and race, but I think his wife has some health issues or something, and blah
Oh,
blah blah. But I bought his truck, trailer, race car. I mean, we sold his truck and trailer, but we have everything for somebody to jump into pro stock. And if anybody knew V Gaines, they knew he had the nicest equipment out there, or at least, equal to, right? So that's what I love to do. I get to do it every day. And then the other side of our business is Elite Performance, which is our engine side of our business, and we got some exciting things going on there. We're working on some new projects, of course, with our friend Jason Line. We're doing some stuff there. Jason has started his own business called J Line Performance, and he's doing blocks, and it's just now kind of getting started. So we're going to support that through our Patterson Elite program, and I know Sandy Wilkins is. So I don't know if you see, all the proprietary part of that deal. It's just changing, and it has been changing for quite some time. So we've got that going on with Elite Performance. Right next door to our business, we got Elite Cultivation, which is a medicinal marijuana grow. It does well. I mean, we grow about 300 to 400 pounds on average a month of flower. We sell every bit of it. We also make, the carts and the gummies and things like that. So we have that next door. Pretty neat facility. If anybody hadn't, I don't care what you think about it, but it's pretty cool to see, and very nice. We've got that going on. We've got some oil field stuff, which we're actually looking at selling this year. Got some ranch stuff. I'm an outdoorsman. I like to hunt and fish. So I have a ranch about 45 minutes away. I don't know what else. I mean, just got a lot of stuff going on, right? We're busy all the time. My 19-year-old daughter's a freshman in college. She's cheerleading at a Southern Nazarene University in Oklahoma City or Bethany. God, I don't know. I can't keep up with half the shit we got going on.
Well, which is actually a racing business question here, or a business question. How do you keep up?
Good people, just really good people. I mean, I've got, my CFO Sally has been with me for 25 years. So, I mean, if you look at our business, our people have been here from kind of day one. It's built around family. I've got both of my brothers, Wolseley and Robert. I've got Chase and Casey, which are Wolseley's, two of Wolseley's sons. I got my mom, and then all the rest of my brothers and sisters that work here that aren't blood, but we are truly. That's how we do it. That's to answer your question. That's how we do it, and we don't have a lot of turnover. And I try to take care of them. So that's how I keep up with it. And I'm a yellow pad and paper and a pencil, and that's I'm not a as you can see this stupid thing you got going on. It's hard for me to. I tend to not do this kind of shit because I don't know how to work it. So, but anyway, that's how we do it.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, a lot of the stuff that you do, it seems textbook, but it's amazing that like textbook is so hard for most people, right? It's like, look, like find a good opportunity, buy good assets, create a good team, find the best people, partner with the best people, do all those things. But like you tend to actually do that in real life and in real business, but it seems like so many people have a hard time just doing those basic textbook things. Like what sort of advice do you have for people?
Just remember, it's not about all the time. And you watch these football teams, or you watch, look at the Detroit Lions. Do you think that they made it to where they are because they were the best athletic team? No, sir. They had a leader, and those people bought in on that. And it's been 30 some odd years, right? And here this Dan Campbell comes in, and he's got these guys believing that they're as good as anybody out there. Well, they are, because they bought into his philosophy. And so, I watch those kind of things. I was hoping they'd win, and they should have, right? But they weren't the best team by miles. And so, I think that's I don't know. I just you hate to say too much, because it's hard for these people to realize. And what I see is people tend to, in the racing business, tend to ride the horse too long, or just put all their emphasis on their personal agenda. And you just, guess what? The Erica Enders, the Aaron Stanfields, the all these guys, right? They get to live their dream and they get all the accolades, where some of the other people, right, that do the same thing, they want all the accolades, all the money, all the, and pretty soon you put yourself over in a corner and nobody really wants to be around you. And that's what I try to not do. I mean, I got some of the best people ever. When we needed some employees over the winter, and I chased them, did that stuff we had 65 applicants in 72 hours. That's unbelievable. And all you hear is, we can't find nobody I mean, I'm not kidding. We had people standing in line that wanted to come be a part of this.
Right.
That's cool.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things that I was just saying with the the getting the best people and putting them together. I mean, you probably don't see this on the inside, but from the outside, a lot of times the thing is like, oh well, damn, they're adding more people to this. Like, let's watch this implode, and then it sort of never implodes, and it's like, well, how does he do that?
Yeah, it won't implode. Trust me. And we do. I've only got really 2 crew chiefs, but there's no walls up. So my nephew's learning, right? And everything's right out in front of them. And you don't have to mention names, but you look at some of the other places. I mean, I'll just tell you, I mean, for example, Matt Hartford made the statement last year, right? Oh, it's him and Greg, and they're all by themselves. I don't need to talk about it no more. That first of all, if I was part of that team, right, I would be pissed off. What do you mean it's you by yourself? Well, they choose that, right? We have no walls up, none whatsoever. There is no, oh, that's Mark's car, oh, that's Tim's car. We don't do that. Don't care.
Right.
I don't care. Just like our engines, I don't care. I don't turn my car around backwards to swap the motors. I don't do it. Don't need to. Don't have nothing to hide. I just there's a new Richard this year. I will tell you this. I'm done putting up with people's shit. Period. Sick of it. You'll see some of that. So I don't really care about sharing any more about how to do something, because it ain't my job to educate some of these people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, and also, I mean, if people watch close enough, they should just get the education from.
They're smart enough. So.
Yeah. No, for sure. Well, let's get into the last segment here. We got 12 questions, 13 questions. The answers can only be 1 minute each.
Okay.
Got it? All right. Segment's called Put Up Your Dukes. Get ready to put up your dukes. Alrighty. For these questions, it could be the answer could either be for Richard Freeman, for Elite, for racing, for however you want to answer it. All right.
Are you asking them, or are they something somebody else are asking?
No. They're me.
Oh, okay.
They're me. Yeah.
All right.
So the first question is this, and like I said, it could be for the industry, for you, for Elite, like however you want to answer it. Just the only thing is 1 minute for each answer.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Cool. What's the strength?
What's the what?
Strength.
Strength?
Yep.
Again, people. That's real simple. The strength are in people.
Biggest weakness?
People.
Biggest opportunity?
Biggest opportunity. Biggest opportunity. I don't really know how to answer that. Opportunity in what? Just in I mean, I think the biggest opportunity in front of me right now is trying to figure out, can I get Erica to surpass Bob Glidden with 10 world championships, and can I get her a championship in a fuel car, and probably a funny car. And at the same time, let me reiterate that I have some young drivers, some other young drivers that as far as opportunity, I want to see the Quadras win a national event, and quickly. And Aaron Stanfield, TJ Coughlin, Jerry Don Tucker. I've got some people that can win championships right with her. So it's going to be exciting to watch.
Yeah. Biggest threat.
Biggest threat. I guess living life the way you're supposed to live it in a Christ-like way, and I struggle with that. So.
Yeah. Most underrated and overrated part of being Richard Freeman.
Oh, I think I'm the luckiest person alive. I don't know if there's any underrated or over. I get to live my dream every day, and I can tell you that knowing that my dad got to see some of it makes me, and we're not done, but really that drives me.
Biggest mental hurdle.
Mental hurdle. Making sure I can pay my bills, I guess.
What's the last piece of advice for the younger generation, the people younger than you?
Don't ever stop. Don't stop believing, and making sure whether the glass is half full or half empty. Just make sure that you're the one pouring. I was told no my whole life. Can't do it. Can't do it. Can't do it. Won't do it. So you hear that all the time. Never give up. But generations today are different. So you just gotta, if you believe it, you gotta believe it. Then just go do it.
What's the last thing that you have to say for the folks older than you, the people who went before you?
Embrace the ones behind you. I don't know if that's answering your question, but one of the things that I see in our sport is people not laying down the gloves and embracing the next in line. I talk to my guys all the time. I'm 50 years old, and I'm thinking about succession. And what I see a lot of time is, these guys, they retire, right? And then they just disappear. For example, John Force. In my opinion, like if I was Force, what does he have more to prove, right? And he's got a lot of young people that want to do it. And to me, to keep that legacy alive, it can be John Force Racing forever. You look at some of those NASCAR people, and that's how those deals stay alive. Look at Richard Petty. I mean, I saw him at Kiss Me, and I mean, I don't know how old he is, but he's old, right? But he's embraced that next generation, whether it's his family or whatever. And so, I think that's one thing our sport, they need to be able to embrace the next generation and keep building. That's what we got to have. That's what I want to do.
Mm-hmm. How about last word for your peers?
I don't know. I don't know what I would say to them. The last word for my peers. I hope to, continue the work that they started. I mean, we lost Don Schumacher. Look what he did. He actually, him and John Force, they changed our sport. And not in a bad way, in a good way. But it's our job to continue that. So, I hope that I'm one that can continue that work. And that's what I'm going to try to do.
Awesome. Final question is just what's your personal or business need from or ask from the audience here watching the racing business?
Nothing. I mean, keep the supporters keep supporting and the haters keep hating. We got to have them both. I think we have more, I think, more haters than we do supporters. But I don't go do this I got all the friends that I need. So, where Erica looks at social media and all that stuff, and that stuff bothers her, I love them. I love it. Just keep talking. That drives me so hard.
Yeah. Well, I want to thank you. Just as you look at Force and Don Schumacher as innovators and people who've changed the sport, I want to thank you for changing the sport too.
Thank you. We're trying, and we're not done yet. We still got a little bit of time till the bank comes calling.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that as writing you off as like an obituary, but just in process, I appreciate all the stuff that you do, and I appreciate you.
I appreciate it too. I mean, we've done a lot in a really short time, and I don't have any plans of changing that. And hopefully these younger guys that are working for me, they want what they see and will bust their ass to get that.
Yeah. Well, awesome. Well, thank you for being a guest on the show. Glad you can
thank you.
And good luck this week here at the Pro Superstar Shootout.
Yep. We'll see you there.